a town. And he says that he destroyed that town. And having destroyed the town, he placed a ban that they could never return to the town to reclaim it as their own, the people of the town. No. They can never return to this town to reclaim it. Hatta, until, he's speaking now of tomorrow, until a time comes when one of the major signs of the last day appears. What is it? The companions were sitting talking amongst themselves when he, the Prophet ﷺ, came and asked, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "We're talking about the signs of the last day." And he said the last day would not come until, and he mentioned 10 signs. You know them, don't you? At the fingertips. Number 1, and these are not given in the chronological order in which they will occur. Number 1, Dajjal, the false Messiah, the Antichrist. Number 2, Gog and Magog, who are in the Bible. Gog and Magog, Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Number 3, the return of the Son of Mary. The return of the Son of Mary. Number 4, Dukhan, smoke. Number 5, Dabbatul Ard, a creature of the earth. Number 6, that the sun would rise even in Barakpur from the west. Number 7, 8 and 9. 3, khusuf, plural of khas. Khas is a sinking of the earth, therefore an earthquake. An earthquake, a sinking of the earth. And the earth sinks down and swallows what it swallows. 1 in the east, 1 in the west, and the 3rd one in Arabia. And number 10, that a fire will come out of Yemen. I tell you, the Saudis don't like number 10 at all. The fire will come out of Yemen and would drive people to their place of assembly, Judgment Day, perhaps. So these are the 10 major signs. And of these 10, there is one, Gog and Magog. This book was just written on this subject. An Islamic view of Gog and Magog in the modern world, and there are many who are very uncomfortable with this book because it has given a different understanding and explanation of the subject from that to which they are traditionally accustomed. And so Allah speaks about a town which He destroyed, and the people were expelled. And then He placed a ban that they could never return to reclaim that town as their own. حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج وهم من كل حدب ينسلون, until Gog and Magog are released. Allah releases them, not the Security Council of the UN. Allah releases them. Until Gog and Magog are released. And when they are released, Nasl they procreate, they expand in all directions. Another interpretation, they descend from every height. Both are important. Only when these two things happen, when Gog and Magog are released into the world, and these are human beings from Banu Adam, human beings. But these are human beings who have been endowed by the Creator with an indestructible power. I have created, this is in Sahih Muslim, I have created creatures of mine so powerful that none but I can destroy them. And so when they are released into the world will experience something unique, something never experienced before on the stage of history. A people are going to emerge who will sweep aside everything. Every civilization will be swept aside. And with their indestructible power, they're going to take control of the world. And having taken control of the world, they're going to spread all around the world, procreating themselves. In other words, one global society is going to emerge. And it will be a global society of people who will, listen to the word, replicate the way of life of Gog and Magog. You know the phrase I've coined to describe that global society, don't you? I call it a blue jeans Jamaat. One way of life will take over the world. Which town is this? Which is the key to the understanding of tomorrow, the key to the understanding of the end of history. The last age is taking us somewhere. We want to know where it is. Which town is this? When we study the books of tafsir, the answer is not there. It could not have been there. No one could have answered it, because events had not as yet unfolded in the world. Remember, that ocean of knowledge and this ocean of knowledge must come together. Is there anything in the data which has come from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ by which we could identify that town? We go now to all the ahadith on Gog and Magog to see whether any town has been mentioned that is connected with them. And when we study all the ahadith, all the statements, all the data which has come from the Prophet ﷺ on Gog and Magog, we find only one town mentioned, only one. And it is Jerusalem. And so, we are not placing our feet on shifting sand when we identify the town as Jerusalem, because we use a methodology which begins by looking at the ahadith. Yes, Jerusalem was destroyed by Allah, and the people of that town were expelled. They're Banu Israel, the Jews. I am using the term Banu Israel and Jews synonymously, but later on we'll have to be more careful and more explicit. They were expelled, the Israelites. And for 2,000 years, they could not return to reclaim that town as their own. 2,000 years! The strangest event which has occurred in the religious history of mankind is the return of the Jews to Jerusalem to reclaim it as their own, and the restoration of a state of Israel in the Holy Land. This could not have been by accident. No. You do not have an explanation, but we do. Your think tanks cannot explain, but our Quran can explain. How is it possible? Who made it possible? The answer is, when that Jewish-Christian alliance emerged in Europe and modern Western civilization was created, modern Western civilization burst upon the world, not only with an amazing, absolutely amazing scientific and technological revolution which is constantly continuing. It is not finished. And we have benefited, mankind has benefited tremendously from modern Western civilization. But that modern Western civilization emerged in the world with a power which swept aside everything that preceded it. Every civilization that came into the world before was consigned to the museum of history. Every civilization that preceded it became moribund, obsolete. And only modern Western civilization took center stage to control the entire stage of history. It is modern Western civilization which continued where a pope, and incidentally the popes are all European, huh? You never saw an African pope, did you? And it is the Pope in Rome that plays a crucial role in cementing that Jewish-Christian alliance, remember that? And it's the Pope in Rome who launched the Crusades, don't you remember? And launches a mysterious struggle in the name of Christianity to liberate Jerusalem. But wait a minute. Let me scratch my beard. If this is a Christian crusade, how come the only Christians engaged in the crusades are European? How come Africans are not in it? How come the Byzantine Christian Empire is not a part of the crusades? How come when European crusaders passed through Byzantium, they fought and killed their own Christian brothers? How come? How come no other Christians in the world have this obsession to liberate Jerusalem? Why only Europe? That Europe which is destined to become a Jewish-Christian alliance. We say it was not a Christian crusade. We say it's a European crusade. And they continued their struggle for 1,000 years until eventually the Jewish-Christian alliance emerges.